What's up guys, Ryan here with the MXG channel, and I've got our first 2023 Husqvarna to show you guys. This is a 2023 TE150, and they did drop the I off of it for 2023. It's now just a TE150, and I think that's because all the bikes are going to be I, by the time the new gens get here this fall. We didn't see any changes really, anything drastic for 2023 for the enduro or dual sport line, guys. If you will remember what I've said in past KTM videos, the enduros and the dual sports from KTM and Husqvarna are a year behind the motocross bikes. So these bikes will be completely updated next year. Now you can easily see which bike's a new gen and which bike isn't, because the what I like to call the old gens are going to be white, blue, and high vis like this, while the new gens, which are the motocross bikes and the cross-country bikes, they are going to be gray and high vis this year. We'll have a slightly different shroud, and they're a whole new bike and everything. As far as the TE line itself, the only changes we got this year are the FE350 and the FE501 are gone. Those were the off-road only models, and they replaced that with the new FE450, I'm sorry, off-road model. So plenty of options if you're wanting a 450. But as far as this TE150, the only changes you're getting are the color scheme and the front tire, I believe. So this bike did have AT81s across the board. Now we've got an AT81 rear, but we have a MX33F front, which is like a soft to intermediate front. So take that for whatever you will. Now I actually really like this color scheme. I think the blues tie it together nicely, but guys, I really liked the gray color scheme that the enduros and dual sports had last year. That was phenomenal. And I'm not a huge fan of the new gen gray color scheme this year, because while the plastics and everything are gray, they still have that blue frame. And I understand they don't want to let go of those Swedish roots. There's some heritage and stuff there, but this looks good. This amount of blue with the blue frame looks good, but the gray on the models I'm going to show you here in a month or so, I don't know. You're also getting white fork guards this year, and this entire rear fender is high vis. Logo and everything is like sublimated in. It looks like there's a decal on there, but it's not. Anything you put on this will be covered up. Now on the minis, the way they're made, this entire piece here is high vis, but on the big bikes it's just the fender itself. And you get your little sag mark there. You still have the composite subframe, fully composite on the Huskies. So it's going to be your last year with this composite subframe. The new generation bikes have the composite top with the aluminum arms, where you can see this one is composite all the way down. These are fantastic bikes, guys. I've demoed a lot of 150s, and I've had some of my most fun on the 150s. They are a blast. So if you're closer to a relative beginner, you're lighter weight, something like that, you're gonna love this bike. But even if you're an expert rider and a little bit heavier, this bike is going to carry you just fine, trust me. I've test rode these bikes at 215 pounds and they pull me just fine. I had a customer bring in one of these to be rebuilt that had 626 hours on the clock. It had one top end in that 626 hours, and it was still running at that point. The crank had not failed yet. We put a crank and crank bearings and everything in it, but just shows you what kind of life you can get out of these 150s, guys. It's pretty insane. So TPI, transfer port injection, if you're not familiar with it, KTM's been doing it for several years. The throttle body just modulates the air. The oil, this oil tank, you pour your oil in right here, goes into this oil tank, gets pumped out of that oil tank to the throttle body. It drips, it just drips into the throttle body, and the air coming through the throttle body pushes it through the reeds, pushes it up into the combustion chamber, and then your fuel comes through these transfer ports, through these lines on the side that you can't hardly see. So we don't know if we're going to see TPI on the enduro models next year or not. The motocross and cross-country models are going to TBI, or throttle body injection, which is more similar to how the 4-strokes have been doing it for years. So we don't know if these machines are going to go to that and be premix as well, or if they're going to go to that and be oil injection, or if they're going to stay TPI. It's still up in the air. I'm sure we'll find out more about this in the coming, the next 4, 5, 6 months. So hit the subscribe button and I'll keep you guys up to date on whatever rumors I hear. But these are fantastic, guys. This generation was absolutely amazing. I would not hesitate to go out and get this generation bike, if you're wanting to ride instead of waiting for the new the new TBIs or whatever we're getting with the new gens. So all right, guys, Ryan with the MXG channel. You can help me out by subscribing, hitting the bell, maybe even hitting join if you're wild, and appreciate y'all. I'll see you in the next video.